So this is my chili, coriander, and beer steamed mussels. And this is really, really easy. The first thing I'm gonna do is make my chili jam base. So I've just got a blender here. Just gonna throw in a few ingredients. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna get my wok onto the heat as well. So it's nice and warm by the time we get everything in. So I've just got 4 chilies here, which I've just de-seeded, just so it's not too hot, so we actually get flavor from the chili rather than just the heat. I've got a couple of cloves of garlic here. I think I've got four or five cloves here, ready to go. We've got that beautiful coriander stems, which is gonna give us heaps of flavor and make our broth really aromatic, and it's gonna counteract some of that chili as well. So that goes straight in. Knob of ginger, just peeled and then sliced up, goes in. A couple of shallots, just roughly sliced, just to make our blender's life a little bit easier. And then about a teaspoon or so of shrimp paste, which is just gonna give us a really nice depth. The other thing, just to bring it all together, just gonna add a couple of tablespoons of oil, especially because I've got quite a big blender here and I don't have a whole lot of ingredients. So if I don't add much oil, it's just gonna, like the blade's just gonna spin everything to the sides and it's not gonna go anywhere. So good slush of oil. Lid goes on. Right. And it's as easy as that. I'm just gonna quickly grab my spatula here, just scrape down the sides and just get the rest of that in so we get a nice smooth paste. Excellent, so my wok's nice and hot just to start with. And I'm gonna turn the heat down and just slowly caramelize it. At the moment, the paste is quite a light red, sort of pinky color. We wanna get to a nice golden brown. Beautiful. Just go straight into the wok. I'm not gonna add any oil into the wok just yet because there's actually quite a bit of oil already in the paste. So I'm just gonna scrape out all that beautiful flavor just because I don't wanna miss any of that. That's gonna make our mussels taste really, really nice. So you can see at the moment our paste is really quite a light orangey pinky color at the moment. That's just from the shallots and the chilies mostly. We just wanna stir this around, just fry it a little bit, just until it's really aromatic and it's kind of changed into a darker golden brown color as well, just so we can get the most out of those flavors. At the moment, everything's really raw. We wanna caramelize the shallots, caramelize the ginger and the garlic, and get a really, really beautiful caramelized flavor happening. Right, so I was just frying away there. I'm just keeping an eye on it. The reason I'm using a wooden spoon as well is just because when I go do this and I go answer the phone or go and prep my other ingredients or whatever, a wooden spoon isn't gonna melt like a plastic spoon, and a metal spoon, if you leave it on there and come back and grab it, it's gonna burn your hand. So just a little tip for you there. Right, so the other things we're gonna add to this, I've got a little bit of palm sugar as well, and I guess this is probably a Chinese or even Japanese influences for this dish. And I think this kind of cooking is all about balancing flavors. And with this type of cooking, you're trying to balance sweet, salty, sour, and spicy. And obviously we've got the chilies happening in here. We're gonna serve it with some limes at the end, so that's our sour component. A little bit of soy sauce in at the end as well, and that's our salty component. So our sweet component is just palm sugar. And if you can't find this, it's in most supermarkets, but if you can't find it, you could substitute just regular caster sugar or white sugar. But I really like this. This is made from palm, and it's actually got a really beautiful flavor, which I find if you're gonna add sweetness to a dish, you may as well add sweetness and flavor as well, rather than just the sweetness you get from a white sugar. It's quite hard though, so I'm just gonna get my knife and just shred it up a little bit, just to make it easier to dissolve into my sauce. Excellent, that's gonna go in really nicely. And already that's smelling really beautiful. I can't wait to chuck my mussels in here. It's gonna come with a treat. So you can see that this is getting darker already, and that's almost there. It's gonna take another minute or two tops, and we're gonna be right. So just while that's happening, I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. Just gonna get this palm sugar out of the way, which I'm gonna add in soon. Just gonna prepare these limes for serving. I think just a couple of lime cheeks just to squeeze over the mussels for a little bit of freshness at the end is going to be really nice. So just take these cheeks off, and just by getting the cheeks, you're not getting any of those seeds, so it makes it really easy for your guests to eat this dish. And obviously these don't go to waste. I'll just use the lime juice from it for another recipe. Excellent, so this is coming along really, really nicely. That's a beautiful golden brown color now. So now I'm just gonna add that palm sugar that I chopped up, and that palm sugar is gonna melt, start to caramelize, and give it a really nice flavor. And now for our salty component, because remember, I haven't actually added any salt to this dish yet. So I'm gonna add a little bit of soy sauce. But you wanna be careful with this, because you have to remember that the mussels themselves are from the sea, and so they're naturally quite salty. So I wanna be fairly light on with the soy sauce, because otherwise the dish is gonna become too salty. You can always add more, but it's pretty hard once you've added something to take it back out. Beautiful. Smells great too. So maybe I'm just gonna go a teaspoon or two to start with, and so I can always add more in at the end. Now I've got some beer here, and beer is obviously naturally a very bitter flavor, and all these other flavors that we've got going on, the bitterness actually works really well. If you're not a big beer drinker, then you can substitute white wine or even chicken stock or fish stock or something like that, and this recipe would work just as well. I just really like the bitterness that the beer gives it. So you can see that beautiful deep brown golden color. Obviously it's not burning. I've got enough oil in there it's gonna get consistently brown without burning, just to get the most flavor out of all those ingredients. So I'm just gonna pour about half the bottle in to start. A little bit more. And that's our sauce ready to go. So I'm just gonna chuck the mussels straight into that, cover it with a lid. They're gonna steam and open up. In a couple of minutes, we're gonna have beautiful mussels. So these are my mussels. Just debearded them, giving them a little bit of a scrub. Don't be too pedantic about it, but just get those kind of unsightly bits off. They go straight in. Just give them a quick stir around. Just start getting those flavors happening. Now I actually have a lid for this wok, but I don't think it really matters. I just get a big bowl like this, chuck it straight over the top. That's the best lid you'll ever have. So there's no real set time for cooking mussels. You basically just want to cook them until they open up. So this might take 2 minutes or so, but basically so in a couple of minutes, I'll take the lid off. And if they've all opened up, then they're ready to go. If most of them have opened up and there's a couple that just refuse to open and stay closed, it means that they're probably duds, so it's worth just chucking those ones out. Now, I should probably mention that because I'm not using a lid, because I'm just using this upside down bowl, you just want to be careful because it doesn't have a handle. It's going to be very hot from all that steam. So I'm just going to carefully get underneath it, just with a pair of tongs, bring it up over the top. And look at that, beautiful. Most of my mussels have opened up. That's what I like to see. They've all absorbed all that beautiful flavor that we've got working. Beautiful. That smells fantastic as well. Now what I like to do, this is done, this is ready to go. I'm just gonna serve it with some of these lime wedges that I chopped up. Just gonna chuck them straight in. Beautiful. Now this is really important to finish the dish because I've got a lot of chili, a lot of sweetness and a lot of saltiness. So I need something to cut through that. And this coriander, we've got the depth of the flavor from the coriander stems that we use right at the start of the paste. And now this coriander going over the top as well. It might not seem like much, but this kind of little bit of freshness, something fresh over the top with that lime juice is gonna work really, really well. And it's gonna be delicious. It's gonna make all the difference. A few of these over the top. Now, I like to just eat this straight out of the wok. I'm just gonna grab a fork, maybe tuck into some of that nice crusty bread and just get straight into these mussels. Beautiful, great depth of flavor, really fresh with that coriander and lime as well. Give it a try, it's really easy. If you want more recipes and inspiration like this, check out HowToHerbs.com.